Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Full Pelt Music Podcast. I'm delighted that in a moment I'm going to get to chat with the Howling ahead of the release of their debut EP, Salvo, on the 22nd of May. Before then, though, it is the usual reminders for myself. If you would, please do follow Full Pelt on social media, on Facebook at Full Pelt, and on X and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. And again, if you would, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, wherever you're watching or listening. But that's enough of that. It's time to get on with the podcast. So let's go. I'm absolutely delighted today to be joined by Mikey Lord of The Howling on the Full Pelt Music Podcast. Mikey, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, Paul. I'm thriving, mate. I'm doing really well. I don't know what time it is or what day it is. Um, I barely know where I am. But yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, are you all right?
Yeah, no, I absolutely am. It is. It's been a long day, but I've been looking forward to getting to chat to you because obviously an exciting time for yourself with the band and a lot for us to delve into. But I mean, I think I have to start with the fact that I believe you are in Vienna. I will inform you of that
Indeed.
because you're on tour with a little band called Creeper, who I think people may have heard of. How's the tour going over in Europe?
It's been amazing. Yeah, I mean, we did 3 weeks in the UK with them. And then last week, yeah, we jumped on the bus with them, and we're now working our way across Europe. We've done Paris, we've done Solothurn, Switzerland, we've done Milan, and tomorrow night we're in Vienna. And I don't know how many, like 6 or 7 more shows to go. So yeah, it's a total of about 30 gigs across the tour, 5.5 weeks away. Um, but yeah, like what a baptism of fire for our band. It's the first
Absolutely.
touring this band has done. Um, and it's been absolutely incredible. Like Creeper have been far and away the nicest people I've ever toured with. They can't do enough to look after you and to make sure you feel welcomed and taken care of, and to make sure everything's okay, and that we're being looked after. And um but also it's just watching them every night is like going to school. Like, what an incredible band. They are just second to none. They're so good. The music's amazing, their performances are just insanely cool, and they're just such lovely people. So, I can't think of another band I'd want to be away from home for 5.5 weeks with. you know,
There's worse ways to spend your time, certainly.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. And yeah, baptism of fire. But what an amazing opportunity in the first tour. Now I caught the tour as it hit Cambridge at MASH, and was obviously I've seen Creeper many times. Absolutely love Creeper, but yeah, taken aback by how well. Um, the Howling went down. Obviously, I've heard the pre-release single, so I know, yeah, that I'm going to enjoy this. Familiar with your past work, Mikey. Thought, yeah,
Mm.
get there early. Got to watch the Howling. But obviously, I shouldn't have been surprised really because the Creeper fan base are so lovely, much like the band. But they seem to really, obviously, take you to heart. Is that something you felt as well?
Oh yeah, big time. Across this whole tour, there hasn't been a night where I've had this is being in bands before, being a support band. You it goes with the territory to have. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
to
for
have
it.
what we call in the game a "fuck you" horseshoe, which is if you're standing on the stage, you have a horseshoe of people in front of you, with no one wants to come front and middle. It's a support bands, like it's like a rite of passage. You get those every now and again. There hasn't been a single one on this tour. Everyone's been really up for it. They've been really welcoming. There've been so many people that know the words to the songs, like people that have come to multiple shows and learning the words to songs that aren't out yet. You know, and we've just been it's we felt so welcomed and so valued, and at no point has it felt like um people are just sort of waiting to get the support band out of the way so they can have a good time with Creeper. It's felt like a variety show, and everybody's just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great. We felt really welcomed. It's a really cool tribe of people.
Yeah, absolutely is. Match made in heaven, I felt when the tour was first announced. I just thought, yeah, absolutely, that is going to go so well, and I'm really glad it is. And I want to touch on quickly as well, as part of the tour, obviously, you got your debut EP coming out, so obviously playing songs from debut EP. Filling the set, you added a cover, and the cover, Like a Prayer, is a song that I have long held the belief that a rock band needs to do a really good rock cover of this song because it would work so incredibly well. And as soon as those like introductory notes started to hit, I was just like, at last, thank God. And it went down so well.
We did it for you, Paul.
Yeah, I did think that must have been the case. But yeah, how did you obviously pick that song to do as a cover? What did you love about the song?
Just love the song. It's a really cool, honestly, really funny song. And the production on the original is just absolutely ridiculous. It's so crazy. Some of the bass work on that original is mad. Like the musicianship that went into it is really, really cool. And it's just a great song. And I think we were talking about this the other day about covers and about bands doing covers and changing the styles up and stuff. The It's one of those songs where you can kind of do it anyway and it'll still be good because it's a good song. You can stretch it and tear it apart and move choruses and do what we've done where we've actually added a chorus on the end and we've added a guitar solo, quite a long but very cool guitar solo, I might say. And it's still great because it's just a great song at its core. Like we did our first shows when we did them in January. We did a show in London at Blondie's and another show in Manchester at the Castle Hotel. And without going off on too much of a tangent, we wanted to kind of justify being the last band on of the night rather than calling it a headline show. We wanted to justify being the last band on the night, and make sure that people felt like they were getting a good show and getting their money's worth. So we did pad the set out a little bit. And we played a couple of covers because it was our first gig,
Yeah.
and we did do Like a Prayer, and that was bags of fun. But we also did Gimme Gimme by ABBA, which was again just bags of fun, and is another song that is just objectively a great tune. It's such a good chorus. The lyrics are amazing. The musicianship and the songwriting is just incredible. And I mean, ABBA are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't trust someone who doesn't like ABBA.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I don't really know how we landed on those ones, but it just seems to be what happened.
Great choices. Great choices, both. Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to make sure I'm at a show where I can hear Gimme Gimme live as well, because I'm sure that went off with a crowd. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll roll it out at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely love it. And I'm loving the reception the band are getting. Now, obviously, last time I spoke to you was on our Discover New Music podcast. It was with As Sirens Fall. Obviously, now, new band to talk about, the Howling. I guess I should, just for listeners that have listened to that other podcast and now obviously going, hang on a minute, I recognise Mikey. What is the origin story of the Howling? How have you found yourself in this new entity?
The Howling is a project that I've kind of been cooking up in my head for a long time. And it wasn't something I was going to act on, really. It was just sort of a fun kind of exercise. Or wouldn't it be cool if there was a band like this that did X, Y, Z? And kind of found myself without a band was it 2024? Yeah, it will have been. And found myself with my partner Al, who plays bass in the Howling. She was also without a band, and drummer Bailey was also without a band. At that point, we hadn't got Taylor, who plays guitar, into the mix yet, but the three of us were kind of all bandless at the same time, all still really wanting to do it. And I had these songs kind of ready to go, that we could kind of, attack together and try and make them our own a little bit. And it was just kind of born out of bandlessness and boredom, which is how most bands are born, I think, is a group of musicians are together. They aren't formally in a group of musicians and they become a formal group of musicians, and then you just name it. And but Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very natural, to be honest, and just it started with just a meeting at the pub, and like, do you want to do this? Do you want to see how this goes, sort of thing? And yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you say that you've had this sort of concept floated around for a while, in the sense of you can tell the love and the passion that is going into the whole like project, the aesthetics that go behind it. I mean, again, when I said a match made in heaven with Creeper, obviously that's something that they've done so well to put a
yeah,
whole sort of theatrical package behind, some great music. Because without the great music, it's pointless doing all the rest of the stuff, you know. So, but obviously, when you can build a world around the band, and get engagement from a community of fans such as the Creeper fans, who I'm sure are now becoming Howling fans. It's a great opportunity, and this is a band that instantly just struck me as like there's something special here, and it's because of the care that's gone into it.
thank you for saying that. That's really kind of you. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's been like an obsession for a long time. So
yeah,
yeah, time and
absolutely.
saying care, like, it's definitely just obsession.
Yeah, and the best things I think can come from that, and I'm looking forward really to see where this project takes you, because it's got so much potential, and obviously listeners are going to get their first sort of big experience of the band with Salvo, your debut EP. It's out on the 22nd of May. There are vinyl and CDs and bundles. There'll be a link in the bio. So again, listeners, I would point you in that direction if you are able to spend your money and you're getting invested in this project. And it's a great time to jump on board to the Howling ship as it sets sail. I would say. How excited are you? We're what, a couple of weeks away, I suppose, if my math is correct, from the release. How excited are you to get that out into the world?
Very. It's very weird because some of the songs on that EP are really old, like in terms of where I'm at now, you know. And yet I always forget, I guess, the length of time you have to wait sometimes to take an idea and then mold it into a full body of work, you know. And I know that this is it's just our first EP, but it's like we have been building this band and sort of playing with things and trying things out for quite a long time now. So for it to finally be, here is a package, here is a thing, here is what we've made, you know, it's quite frightening. It's quite daunting. I'm really excited to have it out and for those songs to belong to everybody else, you know. But it is yeah, it's I think daunting is the word, but it's also
Yeah.
really fucking exhilarating and really exciting. And the reaction that all the music has had so far has been so good. Everybody's been so kind, and people have been really finding stuff in it for themselves, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. Um, yeah, it's just been really, really cool so far, and I really hope people like the EP.
Yeah, I've listened to it in advance, ready in the review. It's going to be obviously a really good review because I've really enjoyed it, and listeners need to prepare themselves for this EP. So if you can afford to pick up a copy, it's always the best way to support a band. If not, stream it when it's out. You're not going to regret it. If listeners to this podcast obviously are on our socials, they've probably voted in our single of the week competition, and New Religion, one of the pre-release singles, won recently our single of the week tournament that we have. So I just wanted to ask, around the track, what can you tell us about New Religion as a song? What is the song about? What does it mean to you?
Um, I'm always hesitant to talk about what songs are about because I like people to find their own pie.
Yes.
You know, I am reluctant to sort of explain things. Um, but it's definitely a song about um needing change and needing to change, um, and maybe needing to uh dismantle something that has been and make something new, you know. um Whether that's a relationship, whether that's some way that you're spending your time, or, you know, is up to whoever's listening.
Absolutely. And I
uh,
think the best songs are songs where, you know, me as a listener, I can relate to it in my own way. Songs are kind of living sort of entities for me. You talked about with the EP, releasing the songs into the world so that they are owned by everyone else, and that's how I feel about music. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, can get that from that song as well, in terms of where you've come from, but how that could relate to something that is meaningful to me. So yeah, fantastic track, well earned for
Thank
the
you.
single of the week. And yeah, listeners, make sure you check it out if you haven't already. The next thing to sort of point listeners towards is what I point listeners towards on every podcast I do, because I love them: music videos. And when I talked about the Howling, creating this aesthetic, this package around them, I do get disheartened if I'm prepping for a podcast and I look on YouTube, because that's where obviously most videos are housed these days. And I go on
Yeah.
YouTube, and the band that I'm about to interview, I'm like, let's find a video to talk to them about. And I look, and there is none, and I'm quite devastated by it. Now, the Howling, I obviously have been following the singles that have been released, and I looked today and I thought, which video am I going to pick on? And I thought, you know what, I can't, because they're all so well created. So I just want to ask a generalized question of, how important is it to you to create these accompanying pieces of art, these music videos, and with these videos, how did you go about getting them put into practice this time around?
I'm a big believer in the music video. I feel like I'm one of a dying breed. The way the industry seems to feel about music videos these days, particularly for smaller artists on tighter budgets. The constant piece of advice that you get told behind the scenes is whatever money you're going to spend on a music video, don't put it
Yeah,
somewhere else. But I will never put a single out without doing some kind of video for it. I think it's so important, and it's such a cool opportunity to expand on the art and to make to deliver a song in a way that you visually see it, again, without explaining it, but framing it. And they're just bags of fun.
yeah.
They're really, really fun. And you're at you're at a house party or something, and people put music on. People always put music on a TV at house parties, don't they? It's weird. But I would always rather there be a video, and it's a cool way of giving people more to chew on. It gives people another bite at the cherry. Like, they've heard the song, that's great, and they love the song and whatever, but you give people another shot as well with the music video. And yeah, they're just bags of fun. And the videos for
Absolutely.
this EP that we made have been so much fun to do. You know, I think they've all been performance, but they've been just a real fun, like, kind of experiment in finding like the coolest location that we can that to us matches up with how the song feels. Like we and the band itself feels as well. Like, we knew that for the first thing, for Little Promises, we wanted something grandiose, and we wanted something that is like on the nose. This is theatre, so we got an actual theatre. And we actually managed to get the theatre that I would go and see like pantomimes in when I was a kid. So
Nice.
it was really special for me to get to actually be on that stage
Hmm.
where, for years on end, when I like 20 odd years ago, I was sat up in those stalls somewhere
Yeah.
and he's behind you. So it's really special to get to do that there. And we've shot all the video apart from New Religion, which we did ourselves. All the videos, so the videos for Little Promises, Unholy, and The Murder Capital, we shot with Harry Steele and Murray Deeves, who are like just golden duo, like incredible, incredible dudes. They're so talented, they're so lovely, and they have been like really instrumental in bringing uh the the vision of literally the vision of it all to life. Um, yeah, it's just been great.
Yeah.
It's been really cool.
Yeah, two great people there doing what I do. You start to pick up on trends of names, but be it producers or photographers or videographers, directors for music videos, and you see the same names time and time again for things that you love, and you go, hang on, obviously you pick up on how good these people are. And there's two names there, Murray and Harry, that I've picked up so many times. So yeah, great to have people like that around you that can support you. And music videos, I'm just so passionate about them. Like you say, it enhances that connection that you
Yeah.
feel with the band in a different way. I always give the example of, sort of early teen. me, watching videos of Green Day and going, I love how Billy Joe looks. I'm gonna dye my hair blonde and I'm gonna, wear that shirt and things like that, And it's just like it's something special and different to me, rather than listen to the songs.
Well, I think for me when I was a kid, it was the same kind of thing. It was Green Day videos, but and it was Mike Hem videos as well.
Yeah,
When I was really young, my pathway into that music was the music videos because I think particularly young people, but people definitely they go for aesthetic before anything else, at least to begin with. If they like what they see, they will then, you know, be more open to whatever else is there. And like I remember being really young and seeing the Welcome to the Black Parade video and the American Idiot video actually as well. The American Idiot video was a big one. Seeing it and literally it being like the volume is then slowly turning up. It's like, oh, okay, I'm getting this. Um, yeah. So it's just another reason music videos are just really important. It's a way to get to know something.
It is absolutely. And listeners, obviously, again, link is in the bio. Go and check out these videos and build that connection with the Howling. So that obviously, once the EP's out as well, when you've got that, then beyond that, the next step for listeners will be to obviously try and catch a live date. Obviously, you've had the two headline sold out shows to kickstart your career as the Howling. Obviously, the tour with Creeper. I'm hoping there's going to be further opportunities. You won't be able to say just yet, but listeners, I'm hoping we'll be able to find a show in the future.
We've got when we get back off this tour, we're at, on the RIP stage at Download. So that's the Wednesday at Download for RIP campers. And then a couple of weeks after that, we are supporting the Funeral Portrait in Manchester and London. So we're at Rebellion in Manchester on the I think 29th of June. And then London downstairs at the Dome on the 30th.
They're going to be some killer shows. So yeah, listeners, the way obviously to track the band, social media is how we do it these days, and it is the Howling UK across all of the platforms, nice and easy. Again, it will flash up on the screen. Listeners, please go follow the Howling, and if you can get to a show, absolutely recommend you do. Having caught the band with Creeper recently, it's a great set, so make sure you do check it out. To finish off the podcast, we always finish with the same question nowadays, and it's following a bit of a discussion on the live side of things. Talk about having good people around you to support you. And in this industry, that is essential. And grassroots music venues are, fighting to save their existence across the country. Without them, there are no, stadium headliners of the future. They're so important. Run by people that are doing it for love, because you're not running an independent music venue in 2026 trying to make a lot of money. That's not happening. So it's a simple question. What venue would you like to give a shout out to? Hopefully, listeners will be able to head along and pick up a show there.
I would like to shout out Studio 5 Live, which is a venue in Keighley. Yeah, and they're really, really good people. It's run by Brian and Tracy, and it's a brilliant venue, really good people, and they always have great stuff on.
Great recommendation. I'm putting a list of them together, and I'd love to attend all of them myself, because these great people that are behind these venues, and say Keighley, not one of the big places on a map, and that's the key point. Towns and cities across the whole of the UK have got these great venues that you might not know about. So, music lovers, just check out what is local and head to a show, because, even if you don't know the band, just go and take a punt on a show, because it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's not like you're paying to go to the O2 or Brixton Academy or something. You're going to get, some cheap drinks, have a good night, and maybe find a new band that you love. And obviously, if the Howling are there, then you definitely need to go. So, my final message for the listeners today, obviously, is just to reinforce everything I've said. Check out the videos, check out the EP, follow the band on social media, and catch a show if you can. But I always give the final message to the guests. So, Mikey, how would you like to close out the podcast?
Be excellent to each other.
That is an amazing way to finish it. Very Bill and Ted. Yeah, exactly. Could not fault it. So thank you so much, Mikey, for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I really do hope you enjoyed that chat there with the Howling. Do make sure you check out their debut EP, Salvo, which is out on May the 22nd. And of course, follow the band on social media to stay up to date with everything coming from them. You can also follow us at Full Pelt. We're on Facebook at Full Pelt and on X and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. Finally, from me, if you would, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, wherever you're watching or listening, because we'll be back very soon with another episode of the Full Pelt Music Podcast.